Tzvita Bigudim B'ma'amat Sinai Shabbat Moadim Mishmor B'chol Shanai Le'arach Lefanai Ma'aseh Ba'arucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Yom Zeh Yisrael Ora V'Simcha Ora V'Simcha Shabbat Menucha Yom Zeh Yisrael Ora V'Simcha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Chemdat halvavot le'uma shavura Nefashot nechavot neshama yetzera Lenefesh metzera Yasir anacha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Yom Zeh Yisrael Ora V'Simcha Ora V'Simcha Shabbat Menucha Yom Zeh Yisrael Ora V'Simcha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Kirashta Be'rata Otzo Mikol Yamim B'Sheshet Kelita Melechet Olamim Bo Matzu Hagumim Hashketu V'Itcha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Yom Zeh Yisrael Ora V'Simcha Ora V'Simcha Shabbat Menucha Yom Zeh Yisrael Ora V'Simcha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha Shabbat Shabbat Menucha. Shabbat Shalom. It is lovely to be here in this space with you. It is lovely to be here in the space of the internet with those of you who are joining us from home. So we're just going to take a moment to become a community all together. So if you are here, then there is a little camera up there that you can wave at, or there is cameras up there that you can wave at, just to say hello to the people who are at home. Hello to people at home. And so lovely to see you waving to us as well. If you would like to turn your screens on, if you feel able to, so that we can join with you as one community together. It's always lovely to be able to see you singing with us. You're not over there, you're over there. Eventually I'll get used to this. We're going to begin turning to our supplement sheets by recognizing that we are in the middle of Sukkot. And so there is a particular obligation that we have in Sukkot. The words of Deuteronomy, Chag HaSukkot ta'aseh lecha shivat yamim, v'samachta b'chagecha, v'hayita ach sameach. You shall hold the feast of Sukkot for 7 days. You shall rejoice in your festival. You shall have nothing but joy. So this evening we are going to sing our way into Shabbat with songs and with joy as we celebrate this festival of Sukkot and celebrate also this last Friday night here in our outdoor prayer space before we move next week back inside for the winter. So we're going to sing some songs about joy. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. שמע ותשמע, שמע ותשמע, ציון, ציון. שמע ותשמע, שמע ותשמע, ציון, ציון. ותגלנה בנות יהודה, ותגלנה בנות יהודה. שמע ותשמע, שמע ותשמע, ציון, ציון. שמע ותשמע, שמע ותשמע, ציון, ציון. ותגלנה בנות יהודה, ותגלנה בנות יהודה. עוז הרוח לצדיקים ולישראל לשמחה. עוז הרוח לצדיקים ולישראל לשמחה. עוז הרוח לצדיק ולישראל לשמחה, ולישראל לשמחה. עוז הרוח לצדיק ולישראל לשמחה, ולישראל לשמחה. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי לי לי.
And with joy in our hearts, we invite you to rise with us as we light Shabbat candles, and we invite everyone at home to light Shabbat candles alongside us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu ad liknei shel Shabbat.
Amen. And as we take our seats, we turn to page 121 and welcome in the Shabbat bride.
Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamu v'zacho b'diborecha, ishmi'anu el am yichad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'Shem u'letiferet v'letila. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki makor habaracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshav techila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, kiva oret kumi uri, shidaberi, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom atar bala gam b'simcha ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה.
Just before we enter into the real joy that comes with Shabbat, we take a moment to think of those who come to Shabbat with a heavy heart, who do not come to this Shabbat feeling joyful, but instead come with sadness. To everyone who mourns on this Shabbat, we offer you the traditional words of consolation. Hamakom yenachem etchem b'toch sha'a ha'avelim. May the ever-present comfort you together with all those who mourn. We turn to Psalm 92, our psalm to sing for the Shabbat day on page 124.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Yai lai lai lahagid baboker, baboker chasdecha ve'emunacha b'leilot. Lahagid baboker, baboker chasdecha ve'emunacha b'leilot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Yai lai lai lahagid baboker, baboker chasdecha ve'emunacha b'leilot. Lahagid baboker, baboker chasdecha ve'emunacha b'leilot. Tov lehodot לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, כי שמחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בעל לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. בפרח רשעים כמו עשב, ויציצו כל פועלי אבן, להישמדם עדי עד. ואתה מרום לעולם אדוני, כי הנה אויביך אדוני, כי הנה אויביך יאבדו, יתפרדו כל פועלי אבן. ותרעם קרעם קרני בלותי בשמן רענן, ותבט עיני בשורי, בקמים עלי מריעים, תשמענה אוזני.
צדיק תמה יפרח, כרז בלבנון ישגה, שתו Shenim Barananim Lahagi Yashadonai Suri Velo
We rise to call one another to prayer with the words of the Baruch Hu on page 127.
And for those of us who are in here, Easter's that way. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai. One of the consequences of finding ourselves praying together outside, which we've been doing Friday nights now for about 6 months, has been a real awareness of the seasons. And so as we turn to page 128 to give thanks for the stars in the courses in the sky, and as it begins to get dark around us and we need the lights that are here in this space, on this last Shabbat that we're going to be here together, this has a particular resonance for those of us who have been praying through summer, through spring and into summer, and now as we get towards the autumn and the winter. We're on page 128. Blessed are you, our God and Creator, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening twilight, who opens the gates of dawn with wisdom, and with foresight makes times pass and seasons change. Your plan sets the stars in their courses in the sky, creating day and night, turning light into darkness and darkness into light. You make the day fade away and bring on the night, separating day and night. You are the ruler of the hosts of heaven. Blessed are you, God, who brings on the evening twilights. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach v'na'aloz b'divrei toratecha, u'mitzvotecha v'chukotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu v'orech yameinu, u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla, v'avatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev et amo Yisrael. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai V'aftah et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol ma'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shnantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot beineinecha Uchsavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. And we'll take a moment for ourselves for the second paragraph of Shema, if we wish, coming together on page 134.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amata alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdeihem ledoratam v'natnu
Al tzitzit hakanav patino tachalat v'haya lachem letzitzit uritem oto וזכרתם מכל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תתירו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם מכל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Right at the center of the heart of our prayer every day we read about joy. And so it is with joy that we turn to page 135. And with Moses and Miriam and the children of Israel, we answer God in song, with joy, all of us saying. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך אדוני אלוהינו, ראו ונחל הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
So one of the insights that our tradition has is that the joy of times like Sukkot is not a joy you mark on your own. So the rabbis say that the joy of, and in fact the Torah says, that the joy of this period has to be shared with other people to be true joy. Joy comes from the relationships that we build and the joy of being able to be together, which is why it's so special to be able to be back together once again. Special too to be able to celebrate with one another and to welcome new members into our community. So if you are joining online and if you are here, then you'll be able to see our very newest member who is coming up to the screen now. There we go. Little Robin Morseback, Katie and Tom's baby, who was born just a couple of days ago, who's joining us for Erev Shabbat. We build the community of relationships that truly is the source of joy for all of us. And so we turn to our supplement sheet and we sing together about the friendships and love that will sustain us as community and give us joy. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkiveinu, Leshalom, V'ha'amideinu, Shomreinu L'chaim, Ufros Aleinu, Sukat Shlomecha, Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkiveinu, Leshalom, Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkiveinu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al amo Yisrael, ve'al kol ha'olam. We turn back into our Siddurim to the praise for the gift of this Shabbat day, this day of rest on page 137, and sing our way straight from that into our Amidah.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפל, שבת ויהי נפל. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יין עין 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 אדוני. יין עין 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 צבתי תפתח. יין עין 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 ופי יגיד, ופי יגיד Yana nai 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 ufi yagid ufi yagid tehilatecha Yana nai 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 Adonai Yana nai 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 Svatai Tiftach Yana nai 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 Ufi Yagid Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Yana nai 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 Adonai Yana nai 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 Svatai Tiftach Yana nai 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 Ufi Yagid Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Elohei Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Koneh HaKol V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'mevii Goel Livnei B'neihem Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozeh Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Pokei Tzara Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayim Eitim Atah Rav L'Hoshia Mohorit Hatal Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayim Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim B'Rofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Nishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidon Melach Melech Meimit Umechayei Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot metim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hametim
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה.
ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue with our Amidah individually, remembering that to celebrate the joy of Sukkot, we add the special paragraph in blue on page 146. We're going to be joining back together midway down page 148.
Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. In the wisdom of our tradition, we are told that joy happens even if the harvest is bad. We recognize the tension, that it's possible to feel joy even when you feel down, even when you don't feel yourself. So we take a moment to think of those grasping for joy in moments of their own pain and sadness, or those who don't feel joy at this time. And we hope that through the love of community, they too can find joy and comfort once again. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, who heals the sick.
Say shalom b'mronav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom b'mronav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom b'mronav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mronav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom b'mronav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom b'mronav, hu ya'aseh shalom. ועל כל ישראל. We are going to turn together to page 310, and we rise together for the words of the Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. And on page 313, let's read together. על כן נקווה לך, אדוני אלוהינו, לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך, להעביר גילולים מן הארץ, והאלילים קרות יכרתון, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי, וכל בני בשר יקראו בשמך, להפנות אליך כל ראשי ארץ, יכירו וידעו כל יושבי תבל, כי שותפים כולנו בתיקון עולמך, כי המלכות שלך היא, ולעולמי עד תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn together to page 316 and prepare to sanctify the name of God with the words of the Kaddish. As we do so, we remember those who we miss. We join with all of those in the Shloshim and the Shana, the period since the loss of a loved one. And as a community, we stand with those who are remembering this Shabbat, the anniversary of the death of someone they loved. Together with them, we remember Janie Balkan, Nathaniel Bellos, Jack Braffman, Luz Caro Cohen, Hyman Cohen, Mary Cohen, Grace Conn, Stephen Davis, Benjamin Feldman, Ray Fife, Elaine Godfrey, Lionel Gottlieb, Charles Gutman, Alfred Joseph, Yeji Lando, Samuel Lass, Louis Littman, Sadie Littman, Stanley Middleborough, Joseph Miller, Jack Montague, David Myers, Joseph Naftalin, Esther Nathan, Binny Pinner, Israel Press, Anthony Preston, Jake Ray, Herta Reich, Meir Ronell, Rose Shire, Bernard Silver, Anne Silverman, Sir Sigmund Sternberg, Marcus Traeger, Morris Ziege, and Lola Zitzer. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We invite all those who come to this Shabbat in mourning, whether here with us in our sukkah or at home, to join with me in leading the community in the Mourners Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayei dichol Beit Yisrael. B'gala v'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'elam u'lalmei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Diamiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol ha'olam v'imru.
Amen.
So you will have noticed at home that we deprived you of the joy of a Devar Torah. The reason being that we wanted to leave just a few moments so that anyone who is here this evening who would like to can shake lulav. There's lulavim and etrogim both here and also outside in our sukkah. So this area that was once our sukkah that we've turned into this amazing outdoor prayer space isn't really a sukkah because you can't see the stars. So we have a sukkah just outside. So you are welcome if you don't have a sukkah at home to take some time in the sukkah. There's some wine and bread so that people can make Kiddush for themselves in the sukkah if you want. And Rabbi Hannah will be out there to help you out there, and I'll be in here if you want to stay and shake lulav here in our sukkah. We wanted to just say a couple of things in terms of kind of people. In particular, just the joy of seeing Robin on screen. So a huge mazel tov to Katie and to Tom and to Leah. And also, I know I can see that the great-grandparents are also on screen. So mazel tov to you as well, to John and Shirley. We also know that on screen are people who should be here this evening. This COVID thing is not going away. We know that there are a number of people who can't be here this evening, who want to be, but who are still feeling unwell or have been diagnosed, had a positive test this week. So to all of you, we really feel for you, and in particular our bat mitzvah tomorrow. Raquel, whose bat mitzvah is not now happening because she got tested positive for COVID a couple of days ago. So we wish her in particular a speedy recovery and look forward to celebrating with her next month, hopefully all being well. But to everyone who is suffering with whatever illness, we wish you speedy recovery. So as I've mentioned a couple of times, we are moving into a different phase in terms of A Little Life. This is our last Friday night that we're going to be here in the sukkah, certainly this side of the spring. So from next week, we are moving back into our Beit Tefillah. What that means is that we can increase the number of people who are able to be together. So from next week, we're able to have 100 people together, and we'll see how that goes. The challenge of our indoor space is ventilation. So we know that 100 allows us to have an air around us. We will see what it's like as the weather turns, and hopefully we'll be able to increase our numbers as well. But please do join us next week, next Friday, if you feel able. Everything will now be and stay forever online. So inside is now a fully hybrid space with cameras and screens, and we really look forward to people joining us both in person and online. But please do remember that you have to pre-book if you're coming. And please can we ask, if you pre-book and then you can't come, to let us know, because 100 is still about a quarter of our pre-COVID Friday night crowd. So we know that there is still not enough space for everybody. So we have to make sure that if we pre-book, we come, please. All right. Before that, we still have the rest of Sukkot and Simchat Torah to get to. Tomorrow morning, our Imre Finu service will be in here and will include a full Hallel and the opportunity to shake lulav and etrog in Hallel. So if you are able to and would like to, please do sign up for that. You can still pre-book, but please do let us know you're coming. That will be, for those who are sort of nervous about space, we're sort of capping that at about 20, 25 people. So there'll be much more space in here, so you can feel safer in here. And we're going to keep running some services out here through the winter, however cold it gets. Monday night is Erev Simchat Torah. We cannot dance together, but we can dance together. So we are delighted to invite you to join us for the great Eilith Simchat Torah line dance. We are going to be line dancing in the forecourt. We can't do the hora together. We can't join together in that way, but we will be line dancing together. Cowboy boots are optional. Cowboy hats are probably not, it turns out, after today. But please do join us. We will be line dancing together. There are 2 sittings, 6 till 7, not sittings. You won't be able to sit. 2 dancings, I guess, 6 till 7 and 7:30 to 8:30. Please do sign up and come and join us. And then there are still spaces for our services on Tuesday morning as well. And we will be reading Torah from the Beit Tefillah. So if you've been missing the Beit Tefillah, we are going to reopen the Beit Tefillah with Genesis, with the reopening of Torah. So please do join us for that as well. I'm sure I must have forgotten something. I haven't forgotten anything. How extraordinary.
And there's a shiur tomorrow morning.
Oh, yes, there's a shiur tomorrow morning as well, if you want to join me to study. We are going to sing together words of joy to finish our service, fulfilling that mitzvah of joy on Sukkot with the words that we will soon be able to see back above our ark. They're still there. We aren't in there. We're going to sing together, Ivdu.
Ivdu. Adonai b'simcha, simcha, simcha, bo'u lefanav birnana, na 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 na. Ivdu et Adonai b'simcha, simcha, 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 bo'u lefanav birnana.
To rise together as Rabbi Hannah leads us in Kiddush. Please do rise with us at home.
Vayachunu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am, vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, אדמת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim to you at home. Thank you so much for being with us. As always, we are going to give you the ability to unmute yourselves. We can't speak to you, but you can speak to one another and you can speak to us as well. But from all of us here, we wish you Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.